The aquarium hobby is an amazing hobby, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And if you're watching this video, I'd be willing to bet that you are too. But we can't sustain this hobby by ourselves. We always are going to need to bring people into the hobby and introduce them to the joys of keeping fish, corals, and aquariums. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to introduce your friends and family to this hobby. Now, if you've already got friends and family that are around your tank already, this is probably going to be a little bit easier, but if they're a little bit stubborn and not willing to show any interest in your tank, I've got some tips for you in this video in how to get them interested. Now, if you don't have people who are regularly spending time with your tank, I've got some tips on how to introduce your friends to this amazing aquarium hobby, so stay tuned. Hi there! Hillary here for WaterLogged on behalf of Saltwateraquariumdotcom. Like I mentioned in the intro, this hobby can't be sustained just by us. We need to bring more people in and introduce them to this amazing aquatic world. And there's a lot of good ways that you can do that. Now, if you've already got a tank in your house, I suspect you do, and there are people that are regularly around your house, well, there's some great things that you can do just in your regular maintenance of your tank that are excellent ways to introduce them to this amazing hobby. And one of the first things is allowing them to help you feed or watching you feed. Typically when we feed our tanks, that's when we're most engaged and our fish are most active. That's when we're going to see the most amount of movement and interaction from our corals. And getting to have somebody else be a part of that might just be the clincher that you need to get someone interested and involved in, say, fish or coral. Now, another great thing that you can do to introduce them is to have them help take care of some of those other regular maintenance tasks. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you start off by having them clean the protein skimmer, but just kind of make a fun thing out of it and just show them why you're passionate about them. I'd be willing to bet that if you get talking to another aquarist, you guys are going to show and talk about all of the cool, exciting features and gadgets, and you never know when that might spark the interest of a friend or a family member. Now, if you already have tanks, but maybe are thinking about setting up another tank, one great thing that you can do to help gain some interest in those tanks is asking your friends or family to help pick out species to go in the tank. I think along the lines of some of those really charismatic species like pufferfish. They're a good one. A lot of times people refer to them as underwater puppy dogs just because of their big eyes and how they follow you around the tank. They're a great fish to get people interested in the aquarium hobby. Another good puppy dog-like fish might even be a triggerfish. Granted, if you have some of those, you're not really going to be keeping corals, but for beginners, it's a great place to start. Now, some of the other species that might get them interested are things like sea stars or even some cleaner shrimp. They're species that they're familiar with. They may have even seen them on the beach or seen them out in the movies and stuff like that, and they can really associate and know and understand them, and it gives them a great jumping off point to build their relationship with those critters in your tank. Now, along the same lines of familiarizing them with species, I would encourage you to sit down and watch some YouTube videos with them and even some movies. Now, I know before you laugh and say, oh, Hillary, don't recommend Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. There's so many discrepancies in there. Well, yes, it's not a perfect movie. However, Finding Nemo and Finding Dory are a great way to get people interested in some of those species of fish. Take, for example, that cleaner shrimp that I just mentioned. Well, they can see that cleaner shrimp in action in the movies, and that might be what sparks their interest and says, hey, I want to have one of those in my tank. So those are great examples in the big Hollywood movie scene, but you can also sit down and go watch YouTube videos. There's a lot of great YouTube channels out there, just like this one, that have plenty of information and really interesting things to see. So one of the great ones that I always try and share people is George Mavarkis, Coralfish 12G. He's got a lot of really cool videos. He does behind the scenes stuff and really starts you off from when he was a beginner all the way through to going to see aquariums around the world. Another great video account would be Polo Reef. You can see the amazing beauty that can come with having a productive, filled out coral reef, and just the absolute beauty of a tank, that what it can look like once it's going and successful, and something that can definitely be a goal to work towards. So those are two cool YouTube channels that I would recommend sharing with people, sitting down and watching them. Obviously, here on Saltwateraquarium.com, we have a lot of informative educational videos to help teach you all the things that you need to know about aquarium keeping. But we're trying to get people interested who might not already be there yet. And so another great way to do that is to introduce them to your local scene. And by that, I mean, if you have a local fish club that is meeting on a regular basis, maybe consider taking them to one of the frag swaps or the meetings. A lot of times there's really interesting guest speakers there, and there's a lot of other hobbyists that are there who are just as passionate as you are. And you're going to have more people on your team trying to convince a new hobbyist to get on board in this great hobby. Now, going to visit the local club swaps aren't the only thing that you can do. One of the greatest, easiest things that you can do in any city is go and visit a public aquarium. Public aquariums have a whole host of amazing species that they're keeping. Now, granted, not all of the species that you're going to see in a public aquarium are things that you're going to be able to keep at home. I'm aware of that, but I'd be willing to bet that at least a few of their tanks are going to be species that you might want to keep in your aquarium. And so getting ideas on how those animals are kept and getting to show your friends and family a close-up look at some of those species is a great way to get them interested and involved in wanting to keep them in the future. Now, here at saltwateraquarium.com, we like to go to a lot of trade shows, and seeing and talking to you guys at the trade shows is one of our favorite things. And so I would recommend, again, taking your friends and family with you to the trade shows. A couple of great examples for those would be the Reefapalooza California, Reefapalooza Orlando. You can make a fun trip out of it. You can bring your family to the show one of the days. Also go to Disney or to one of the theme parks that are around there, but they get the best of both worlds, and they associate going to an aquarium event with a fun and exciting time, and maybe they'll be more open and receptive to getting an aquarium in the future. I would love to hear what you've done to spark the interest in a future hobbyist. Really, this hobby depends on us to get other people involved to help keep it around for the future. So I would encourage you to think of the things that sparked your interest in the beginning and maybe see if you can't share those with someone else. All right, this has been Hillary for Waterlogged on behalf of Saltwateraquarium.com. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you and the future hobbyists that you've gotten involved sometime in the future. I'll see you next time.